Right, so I want to come in here and talk about Peacemaker Season 2. I haven't talked about this show at all, but it's finally finished, so I thought I'll leave it till the season finale, and then I'll talk about the whole show altogether, because doing an episode-by-episode kind of thing, A, that's diminishing returns, B, Peacemaker episodes are short anyway, so like if you remove like adverts and the amount of time spent on the intro, which is it's great, by the way, it's done really well, and if you pay attention, the intro shows the twist of the series. But yeah, if you minus all the time from that, each episode is roughly about half an hour. So yeah, I didn't want to come in here and do an episode by episode thing. Plus, this isn't Daredevil. Daredevil I tried to keep up with doing an episode by episode thing. I probably will do that with Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Just because that's... A, it's my favourite character. B, it's a show that I will have enough to talk about episode through episode to actually... Well, I don't know yet, but episodes are an hour long on Disney Plus Disney Plus. It's just a show that I'm going to be more like passionate about and have more to say about. Anyway, my overall opinion with Peacemaker Season 2 is I feel like this might be where the kinks are starting to show. And by that, I don't mean a certain orgy scene in episode 1. By that, I mean we're seeing kind of the cracks in the James Gunn formula a little bit, where the kind of found family, music dependent, the music in this series, especially in the last episode, where there's like, there's a song that's about fucking someone's heart in the arse, which I thought was hilarious. Like you've got this incredibly intense situation happening, and then just in the background is just fucking hard in the ass. I thought that was great. I thought that was beautiful. But I feel like this dependence on music, this kind of as much as I love the soundtrack to pretty much every James Gunn project up to this point, but the found family stuff, the dependence on humour, and the kind of not really allowing a situation or the emotions to really like settle, instead having like a joke break the emotion. I feel like there's less of that in here. Like when Chris Peacemaker does have his crisis of faith, essentially, or his like when he does go into his like depressive state, it feels like the scenes with him in don't have as many jokes, or it's not as like you feel how you're supposed to feel in that moment. But I feel like the kind of over-reliance on humour maybe does set this show a little bit back. I feel like characters that we did like from season 1, like Vigilante, completely ruined in this season. I don't remember much. I'll be completely honest, and this is a big thing about just TV in general. It used to be that we would wait upwards a few months for 24 episodes of a show, and by the time that the 24 episodes were done, there would only be like a few month wait for the season 2 to come. Now we're waiting upwards of 3 years for 8 episodes that are half as long. Bearing in mind we did get a movie in between that, we did get, Creature Commandos in between that as well, and also we had a complete change of cinematic universe, which this show handles pretty well. I don't remember, and maybe this is my fault for not refreshing myself on Peacemaker Season 1, I don't remember everything that happened in Peacemaker Season 1. And I feel like that a problem with the show, there being such a gap in between Season 1 and Season 2. I don't know, but I just feel like that's a problem of modern day television, is just having such long waits between seasons. I feel like that's the most milquetoast take anyone could have. Saying all of this, though, I don't think this show is bad. I don't think this season is bad. In fact, I think everything up until episode 8, so pretty much the majority of the show, is great. And then episode 8, I feel like Rick Flag Sr.'s role in this is good up until episode 8. And pretty much the treatment of Rick Flag Sr. in this show turns him from a character with agency to essentially a stooge for a certain character that was the main villain of Superman, who shows up in this and kind of takes the point away from Rick Flag Sr. and kind of turns him into a character that I didn't see becoming that by the end of the show. I don't feel like his character arc makes a lot of sense for the kind of character that he was leading up to that point. And where Peacemaker is at the end of this season, I don't feel like kind of it makes sense with everything else that happens in the show, but it's another thing that's kind of a big issue for me, is, are we going too fast and too far and introducing too many big ideas too quickly into the DCU at this point? I was going to say DCEU. It's not that yet. It's not that anymore. The DCU. Are we introducing too many big things, and are we kind of falling into the same pitfalls that the MCU is going through now? Like, the big problems with the MCU is an over-reliance on TV shows, too many projects coming out a year. That's something that the MCU is trying to get out of. Kevin Feige is trying to get out of. But yeah, an over-reliance on TV shows. The multiverse is a thing that a lot of people have had very strained opinions on. Even though the movies that revolve around the multiverse are the ones that do the best, and the movies that don't, no one's seeing. But that's beside the point. And this show, and Superman to an extent, out of 3 projects in the DCU so far, 2 of them have been shows. 1 of them has been Superman. Superman dealt with multiversal things, kind of. And this just goes full force into it. Like half of the season takes place in a different multiverse. I feel like we might be pushing on that too early. And the foundations of this cinematic universe, the foundations of the DC universe, haven't been set yet. We haven't got a Justice League. We've got a Justice Gang, but that's not the Justice League. We don't have a Justice League. We don't have a Batman. We don't have, apparently Lanterns is going to be a really big, important thing. That's another show. My big problem, or my big concern, is with the MCU, that's established, and people already aren't watching the shows of that. So when they go to watch the Marvels, for example, they're like, who the fuck are all these characters? When they go to watch Thunderbolts, they're like, who the fuck are all these characters? When they go to watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, they're like, why is Wanda like this? My big problem, or my big concern, is when people go to watch any DC movie from now on, they're going to be like, why the fuck is Peacemaker important? Who are all these characters? What is going on here? I also have a bit of an issue with James Gunn saying that he wants to kind of champion the C or D list characters in this DC universe, or in the DCU. However, the opening graphic that we get before each DC project, before Creature Commandos, before Superman, before Peacemaker, is Superman breaking out of some chains. He's the only character in that. Yeah, this is supposed to be a universe that's going to champion the C and D list characters, and it has been doing that so far. Yeah. Mixed messaging there. I like that, by the way, but it just feels counterintuitive to what James Gunn's actually said in interviews and stuff. I just feel like this show is going too far, too big, too quickly, and it's kind of forcing the DC universe, the DCU, to go too big too quickly as well. And a lot of the issues with Marvel projects, especially recently, are the same issues that I'm starting to see pop up with DC. The DC projects that have been coming out have been really high quality so far. We had possibly the best Superman movie that I've seen, and possibly something that kind of rivals people's nostalgia for Christopher Reeve Superman. We have something that rivals the nostalgia of that with genuine quality. We have, Creature Commandos, which is just James Gunn doing what he does best. And, an actual, a really heartfelt, gut-wrenching, emotional TV show that had really good animation as well. I feel like Peacemaker Season 2 is kind of the start of, maybe we're seeing more of the same. It's really good. John Cena is charismatic. You feel everything that he feels. The cast is really good. And where it ends up is genuinely interesting. I just feel like it's too big too quickly. I just feel like it is really too big too quickly. That is really my only big gripe. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Peacemaker Season 2. I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. See you guys in the next video. Peace.